Hello and welcome to the news on NTA International. I am Chinenye Ngoye. First, let's bring you the headlines. Nigeria intensifies campaign for a seat on the International Maritime Organization Council under Category C at a high-profile meeting in New York. Federal government keen on building new bridges of cooperation across the Atlantic with States government to accelerate Nigeria's development. Plus, Malawi faces a crucial moment as it prepares for presidential and legislative elections on September 16th. Many thanks for joining us. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, says the federal government is driving a proactive policy in the agricultural sector that will unlock sustainable agri-food systems and safeguard the climate and restore ecosystems. The minister was speaking at the just concluded high-level event on unlocking sustainable agri-food systems for climate, nature and livelihoods in Rome. Musa Baba Aliyu has more.
Nigeria's Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, also serves as the Vice Chairman of the International Fund for Agricultural Development Governing Council. He represented Nigeria at the high-level discussion on smart agriculture and climate change in Rome. During the meeting, he unveiled Nigeria's bold policies to transform food systems in the country. Kyari stated that proactive policies in agricultural sector will unlock sustainable agri-food systems, safeguard climate, restore ecosystems, boost production, and secure dignified livelihoods for Nigerian farmers. He highlighted Nigeria's partnership with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations through the monitoring and analyzing food and agricultural policies programs established in 2022. The collaboration, he said, has informed Nigeria's agricultural policy making through extensive policy analysis, driving the country's push for a climate-resilient. Kyari emphasized that the National Agri-Food Systems Investment Plan, designed to enhance agricultural investment, boost food production, create jobs, reduce poverty, and make healthy diets, and promoting reforestation. The minister also outlined Nigerian National Adaptation Plan, which integrates climate adaptation into agriculture, water, health, and infrastructure, prioritizing community-led and ecosystem-based solutions. He called on global stakeholders, including international financial institutions like the FAO and IFAD and the Global Environment Facility, to scale up concessional financing and supporting impact programs for smallholder farmers and rural communities. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The federal government of Nigeria is keen on building new bridges of cooperation across the Atlantic with St. Kitts government, which goes beyond traditional diplomacy to accelerate Nigeria's development drive of its critical sectors, including energy, technical exchange, and culinary arts. Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga gave the assurance when his counterpart from St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Denzel Douglas, visited him at the ministry in Abuja. Garba Natala reports.
The Caribbean nation of St. Kitts and Nevis, known for its sugar plantations and tourism, also renders services. The Federation is seeking stronger economic ties with Nigeria. Like many nations, St. Kitts and Nevis faces a modern challenge: how to build a resilient, self-sufficient economy in an evolving global dynamics and uncertainty. That search for new partners led them to Nigeria, and so far, this is the first ministerial visit to an African nation, though not a random visit, but on account inspired in part by President Bola Tinubu's own recent diplomatic efforts in Brazil to reconnect with nations across the global south. This is the result of diplomacy, as the foreign minister, Yusuf Tuga, calls it the engine for long-term sustainable development, emphasizing knowledge and skill transfers among areas to explore.
We have a technical aid corps that provides, that sends out Nigerian professionals to African, Caribbean, and Pacific nations. And we do this free of charge upon request. they go out. It's tenured. It's for a 2-year period. But beyond that, we want to increase trade.
Consolidate that diplomatic relationship which we have established so many years ago.
The two ministers are now expected to draft a roadmap to streamline future cooperation, proving that even the smallest nations can carve out a unique role on the global stage. In Abuja, Garba Muhammad Atala, NTA News.
The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, has suspended its 2-day warning strike, effective immediately, as announced by its president, Dr. Tokbe Oshundara, on this Sunday. The decision follows a partial fulfillment of the association's demands by the federal government, with assurances to address remaining concerns. Dr. Oshundara stated the strike has been suspended as a gesture of goodwill to support Nigerians seeking healthcare services at the facilities. He said some of their demands have been met and the government has committed to resolving other issues. NARD plans to monitor the government's progress on outstanding demands, including unpaid arrears and the downgrading of membership certificates issued by the West African Colleges of Physicians and Surgeons, by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. To discuss the strike and the agreement reached with the resident doctors, we are being joined now live via Zoom by Dr. Zenith Oshundara, the president of the resident doctors. Sir, you're welcome to the news.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so tell us, what led to the decision to suspend the warning strike, and what were the key factors considered by NARD's National Executive Council?
All right. One of the reasons for suspension is because of the partial fulfillment of the demands, before the government. The NRF, which is the Residency Training Fund, was put, that was on Friday. A balance of this benefit was about 50% of the money was paid initially, and the balance was paid on Friday. We appreciate the government for doing this. We appreciate other stakeholders who are involved to facilitate these payments. However, the invitation concerns the state government to the training fund. There are areas of salary studenthood. We have just accumulation, we have downloading of membership certificates, and the government pushes the evaluation of the certificates for doctors in this country. So we are saying that government should look into this aspect, so as we want to pay doctors and things, when we want to look at it compete with competence and every other time. So this is one of the things we are telling about this. We also have issues with shortage of manpower. If you look at some of the hospitals that we have across the country, we discover that we don't have adequate manpower. We don't have adequate doctor. As regards the standard of the WHO says you should have one doctor to 600 patients. What we have in Nigeria is one doctor for about 10,000 patients. And this is costing a lot of dollars as stress on our doctor. People understand that the doctor that we have as doctor in this country is just too much, and we have to take it demanding. We have excess patients to attend to, excess work, and in the most of these things, we have poor remuneration. And we have poor employment as well. We have 2 weeks to respond to what the applications that are not responded to. We have to respond to it, and to make sure that the particular factor that we rejected from National Science Income Services Commission. And the state government, by this factor that has been corrected, should be released. We want to appreciate the National Science Income Services Commission for having done the right thing by correcting this factor. Now it is an account of police. What is it taking this factor? These are some of the things we are pushing to government so that we can return doctors to this country. There is one of the push and go factor. Why we have doctors who are not properly remunerated? Of course, we have times where remuneration is perfectly good there. So it is important for government to look in this direction so that we can return doctors in this country.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Oshundara, for providing us with that information. Now, Nigeria's campaign for a seat on the International Maritime Organization Council under Category C has entered a new high-profile phase in New York as the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adeboyega Oyetola, formally addressed permanent representatives of African nations to the United Nations at a reception in Nigeria House, New York. Delivering a speech imbued with maritime vision and national resolve, Oyetola emphasized that Nigeria's candidature was more than an ambition, but a solemn pledge of partnership with the international community. The minister pointed to Nigeria's extensive maritime endowments, which include 853 kilometers of coastline, over 10,000 kilometers of inland waterways, and a large exclusive economic zone, as well as the country's strategic location on the Gulf of Guinea, a corridor of vital commercial significance. Underscoring Nigeria's renewed international reforms and growing blue economy agents, Malawi faces a crucial moment as it prepares for presidential and legislative elections on September 16th. The upcoming vote, marked by a challenging economic climate, will see a repeat contest between two familiar figures, incumbent President Lazarus Chakwera and former President Peter Mutharika. Let's hear more from Comfort Fasheun.
The upcoming election in Malawi presents a high-stakes rematch between two presidents, Lazarus Chakwera and Peter Mutharika, vying for control of the nation. This marks their third electoral clash. With a potential runoff widely anticipated, and the first-time candidacy of former Reserve Bank Governor Dalitso Kakambe could also prove decisive. President Chakwera, a former evangelical preacher, is campaigning on a platform of continuity. He's seeking a second term to complete projects initiated during his first term, including infrastructural developments for roads, schools, and hospitals. Meanwhile, Mutharika is positioning himself as a leader capable of revitalizing Malawi's struggling economy, promising a return to what he calls proven leadership. Dalitso Kakambe, on the other hand, presenting himself as a technocratic outsider, has promised to transform the economy through measures such as decentralizing governance, establishing state-run development corporations, and boosting agriculture and manufacturing. The presidential race includes a total of 17 candidates, among them former President Joyce Banda. Alongside the presidential vote, Malawians will also elect members of parliament and over 500 local council members, shaping the future of the nation's leadership at all levels. Comforts, Fashion, NTA News.
The newly instated interim leader, Shushila Karki, chaired her first meeting with government officials. The former Chief Justice assumed office on Friday following the removal of her predecessor amidst deadly anti-corruption protests. Details again with Comfort Fasheun.
On assuming the office of the interim Prime Minister, Shushila Karki, the former Chief Justice, pledged to address the protesters' demands for a corruption-free future. Others' commitments came after youth-led demonstrations forced the resignation of her predecessor. Karki, whose appointment came after intense negotiations by Army Chief General Ashok Raj Sejal and President Ramchandra, including representatives of Gen Z, has now been tasked with restoring order and preparing for elections scheduled in 6 months. A fifth of people in Nepal aged 15 to 24 are underemployed, according to the World Bank, with GDP per capita standing at just 1,447 in the Himalayan nation of 30 million people. Karki said in her first public comment since taking office on Friday that they have to work according to the thinking of the Gen Zs, adding that what this group is demanding is the end to corruption, good governance and economic equality. The unrest, which erupted on Monday, began with a ban on social media, quickly fueled by pre-existing economic grievances. A protest escalated rapidly, culminating in the burning of parliament and key government buildings. Government officials report confirmed at least 72 people were killed and 191 injured in 2 days of protest. Comfort, Fashim, NTA News.
This is the news on NTA International. Many thanks for staying on. U.S. President Donald Trump has called on all North Atlantic Treaty Organization NATO countries to stop buying Russian oil and places tariffs on China of up to 100%. On a posting on social media, President Trump questioned NATO's commitment to winning the war in Ukraine. He said the continued purchase of Russian oil by some member countries weakened NATO's negotiating position with Moscow. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2023, Turkey has been the third largest buyer of Russian oil. Other members of the 32-state alliance still dependent on Russian fuel, including Hungary and Slovakia. Trump's post comes days after Russian drones entered Polish airspace and were shot down by NATO aircraft. Recent talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska failed to deliver any progress towards peace. An Indian businessman and 3 Nigerian accomplices have been arrested by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, in connection with the seizure of more than 2 million pills of tramadol intercepted at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Ikeja, Lagos. This arrest is part of the agency's ongoing efforts to combat illicit substance trafficking across the country. Sawa Khalil Ibrahim reports.
The tramadol shipment is estimated at more than 3 billion naira in street value, imported from Delhi, India, and disguised as multivitamins in 114 cartons. Clearing agents, 2 drivers, and Indian businessman were arrested in connection with the shipment. Additionally, at the Terminal 2 departure gate of the airport, NDLEA operatives intercepted a passenger with 900 grams of skunk concealed in crayfish. While in Abuja, a 29-year-old dispatch rider was arrested with 50.7 grams of cocaine and 66 grams of loud. In Anambra State, a couple was arrested with 13.9 kilograms of methamphetamine and 5.3 grams of skunk. In Ogun State, 3 transborder drug traffickers were nabbed with 394 grams of skunk, and 3 motorcycles used to convey the illicit consignment were recovered. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
The Nigerian Immigration Service has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening national security and upholding professional excellence through intensive training programs. This was highlighted during the 26th Inspectorate Basic Course Passing Out Parade held at the Immigration Training School in Kano. Fatima Sanusi Karai reports.
The atmosphere is charged with pride as dignitaries, families, and representatives of paramilitary and security agencies gather to celebrate a defining milestone for 760 newly trained inspectors and assistant inspectors of the Nigerian Immigration Service.
I'm so grateful to be as an officer to a Nigerian Immigration Service, and to be in Nigerian Immigration Service is one of my honor. Sir.
They really did a lot on us for the future purposes.
I'm feeling great, I'm feeling excited because I am happy. Out of 1,000 I was choosing. It's not easy to be a Nigerian Immigration Service. I'm really happy.
Presided over by the commandant of the Nigerian Immigration Training School, with the Controller General Kemi Nabdab duly represented, the ceremony marked the recruits' official transition into officers, now entrusted with the vital duty of safeguarding the nation's borders.
We have seen a very befitting parade, and they have showcased what they have been trained for. And you know, parade and every other aspect of uniform organization, parade signifies a very symbolic aspect.
They should uphold all that we are taught in this school. They should put it into practice. If they put it into practice, the nation will be proud of them.
Every synchronized step reflected not just the completion of training, but the beginning of a noble journey, a solemn call to national service. In Kano, Fatima Sanusi Arai, NTA News.
Minister for Works David Umahi has visited Kebbi State to supervise the construction of the 258-kilometer stretch of the Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway. The superhighway is part of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda aimed at boosting Nigeria's infrastructure and socio-economic development. Jafar Yusuf reports.
The Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway is a massive infrastructure project aimed at boosting economic growth, security, and connectivity between Nigeria's northern and southern regions. The project connects Sokoto to Badagry, passing through 7 states, which are Kebbi, Niger, Kwara, Oyo, Ogun, and Lagos. The Minister for Works, David Umahi, after inspecting the project, was satisfied with the level of work done so far. He was full of appreciation to the Kebbi State Governor for providing security to ensure the smooth execution of the project.
And also to minimize, level of insecurity, we are now eliminating the median, which is also a basin, that collects water and sends it to the, base course for failure. So we eliminated it and we are putting beautiful, New Jersey. But in township, where we have township, we are now going to bring it back, but it's going to be 3 meters and we shall concrete it.
So the Northwest people of this country are very proud with this noble and legacy project being undertaken by the administration of Mr. President under his renewed hope agenda.
The minister also announced that all is set for the payment of compensation to the beneficiaries. He added that despite the challenges posed by climate change, the contractor is working diligently. The first phase of the project is targeted for completion in 2027. In Brunei Kebbi, Japari Sobilo, NTA News.
The kindness of Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, continue to find expression in the lives of women and children in Jigawa State. This time, 400 women and 110 pupils in Kafin Hausa local government area have benefited from a package of support aimed at keeping children in school and empowering women to sustain their families. Mohammed Musa Askira reports.
The support initiative, championed by the wife of the Jigawa State Governor Haji Hadiza Oman Namadi under the auspices of the Remi Tinubu Support Organization, brought joy to the women and children alike, while the school children received bags, uniforms, sandals, exercise books and other learning materials to return them to the classroom. The women were supported with cash to boost their small-scale businesses. The gesture, organizers say, is a reminder of the compassion of Senator Oluremi Tinubu for Nigerian women and children, and a call on the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the support for the good of their families. It would be recalled that only last week, 500 women across Jigawa State received 50,000 naira each, courtesy of the Renewed Hope initiative of the First Lady, spearheaded by the wife of the Jigawa State Governor, Haji Hadiza Oman Namadi, in furtherance of her efforts to uplift women economically and improve the lives of children across Nigeria.
No child is denied the opportunity to go to school. This is the renewed hope we are bringing to Jigawa State. Our beneficiaries today, I urge you to make the best use of the support you are receiving. Let it be the seed grows into prosperity for you and your families. To our children, I encourage you to wear your new uniforms with pride. Study hard and always remember that you are the future leaders of Jigawa State and Nigeria.
For the women and children of Kafin Hausa, the message is clear: they are not forgotten. Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Let's now take a look at the weather prospect for Monday in Nigeria and some parts of the world. And that's the news at this time. Many thanks.